Well, for today's review, we got kind of a cool product. It's the Bodega TWW55 liter refrigerator freezer. And I've been testing this at home for the last 2 weeks. I've got some specs on that I'll share with you. And now we've got it out for a hot, a hot week here in Montana. And I'm going to tell you how it's doing. We always do our review videos in addition to our regular programming, which comes out every Friday. So be sure and check our channel for other videos, how-to videos, travel videos, and you might find something of interest there. Give it a shot. Now, Bodega did send me this to do the review free of charge, I guess, but nothing's free, you know that. Anyways, I did want to give you my best impression of this refrigerator, and I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. First of all, it's a true dual zone refrigerator. It's got 2 coils in it that run 2 separate compartments. It's not the kind of refrigerator where you've got a deep end and then a shallow end, and the shallow end just doesn't have any refrigeration in it, and it just tends to run a little warmer than the deep end. This actually is a dual zone with a refrigerator freezer on each side. Currently we're running refrigerator on the big side and we're running freezer on the small side, but you could do it just the opposite. You could run freezer over here and refrigerator over here. If you wanted to keep lots of ice cream, you could do that. And you could also run it as both freezer or both refrigerator. This is the way we're running this one. You'll notice right off the bat the handle on the side, and this is articulated, and it makes it really easy with the wheels to move this around. Because let's face it, something this big, when you get it loaded down full of food and beer and things like that, it's going to be heavy. From here to the handle on the other side is 28 inches, so it's a little taller than you might expect, but it's narrower, and that makes it fit into the same spaces as the typical 50-quart refrigerators. It's got this handle on the other side, and there was nothing that I had to assemble when this showed up. It just came right out of the box like this. I didn't have to screw on the handles or anything. On the top, it's got the spots here where you can set a drink so they don't slide off, and then it's got this odd spot in the middle. Wonder what that could be for. That's because it comes with a cutting board stowed inside here, which is handy. And that fits right into that space. The control panel is here, and it's got a USB port over here so you can plug your phone in and charge it, or your camera batteries or whatever. You can never have too many of these, and you can never have too many cords to come off of these. I'm constantly losing cords. Up here you can set the refrigerator and freezer. You can set them independently right here. You can choose eco mode or max mode. Here's the settings button here, and here's the power on and off over here. Now the thing is that this is a little harder to use than some of the other refrigerators I've tested, and that's because they've made this so that it's also harder to accidentally trip a setting. You can't be reaching over this and accidentally change your setting. Like if you're reaching around it to grab something and all of a sudden you accidentally dial it up from 34 degrees to 74 degrees. You know what I mean. This one you actually have to push both buttons and hold it down, and then you can change the power setting. Push both, plus and minus, to get into the settings, and then you can see where it's set. I have this set at 34. Push setting over here, hit it again, and that one says 35. We're going to want that at 34. Both sides are at 34 degrees, but there's an easier way. This also has Bluetooth, and that's the way I prefer to do all the adjustments on this. It's so easy. Once you download the app, and it's an AlpaCool app, you can change the settings very easily just by scrolling one way or the other. Like right now I've got the freezer side set at 7, and you can just scroll over to whatever temperature you want to set on it. The same way for the refrigerator side. Up here it says 34. Right now up here it tells you that it's at 37 and 18. It's because I had it shut off for a little while. But now, because when I moved it out here onto the picnic table from inside the trailer, this came up a little bit. It's running right now, and this is going to go back down. Down here you can set the where you want it to turn off at, whether you want it to shut off automatically at 9 volts, 11.5 volts, or 12 volts. This is to protect your car battery, 12 volts. The middle setting here would be to protect a deep cycle battery, 11.5 volts. And the low setting over here would be to protect, I just switched it over there, to protect a lithium battery like what's in that power station. This is now set at 9 volts. I have it set at eco mode, and over here is max mode. You can turn it on to max mode. That increases the speed of the compressor. And if you have both zones, well, let me explain something to you about that. Anyways, this is the app. It's very easy to use. I like to use this a lot better than using the control panel on the refrigerator. This is just simple. I did discover on this that if you're running the freezer really cold, like down at -4, it'll go down to -4, but you got to run it on max. The compressor can't keep up with it on eco mode. It needs that faster running compressor that you get on max mode to keep it down that cold. However, by bringing the freezer up to +10 degrees Fahrenheit, the ice cream is still frozen, and now I can run it on eco mode and it uses less power. Let's talk about the power. First of all, the manual says it uses 90 watts, but it doesn't. When it's running on the power station and when it's running at home plugged into the wall, because you can run it off 110, it comes with a power brick. It's generally drawing about 40 watts of power, even on freezer mode. And this morning when it turned on, I noticed it was drawing 29 watts of power. So figure between 30 and 40 watts while it's running. I've got some specs here on how it performed. For example, going from room temperature at home, 72 degrees, down to an internal temperature of 34 degrees, that took 34 minutes. And for it to go from room temperature down to -4 degrees, it took 45 minutes to get it cooled down to that point. That was with an empty refrigerator, nothing in it. If you're wondering about how it does as a refrigerator with both sides set at 34 degrees, it ran the same as all the other refrigerators I've tested, even though this one's bigger. It only drew, I've got this on video, I don't have it written down. Okay, it's been exactly 12 hours, so it's used 0.14 watt hours, so that would be 0.28 for a 24-hour period. It's when you turn on the freezer that you're going to start using more power. For example, when I had the left side over here set at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, it used 0.44 watt hours or 440 watts over a 24-hour period to keep this at +10 and this side at +34. I swapped them out just to see what would happen, and I had the right side over here set at +10 and the left side set at 34, and it actually used 0.56 or watt hours or 560 watts. It just varied. But the thing is that you can count on using 2 or 3 times more power when you run it as a freezer on one side or the other, or probably if you run it as a freezer on both sides. You just have to count on that. It's going to use more. When I had the left side, which is the big side, at -4 degrees Fahrenheit, and the right side at +34, that's the small side, so using the small side as a refrigerator, once again, this side set at -4, it used 0.62 watt hours or 620 watts over a 24-hour period. So if you're running it as just a refrigerator, hey, no problem. You can run this off of a deep cycle battery and a 100-watt solar panel, or a 500-watt power station and a 100-watt solar panel. If you're going to run this as a freezer, you could probably still do that for 24 hours. However, if you get some cloudy weather or something like that and you're running this as a freezer, you're going to need a couple hundred watts of solar and a larger power station. Like this is a 700 over here, this EB70 Blue Eddy. You're going to need something a little more just to be on the safe side to make sure you can run it. My thoughts on it is, if you've got a family of 4 and you're heading out for a weekend and you want to bring ice cream along for the kids, you can do it with this. I shouldn't say for the kids. Linda and I brought ice cream along this week. It's right here, right now. So it does have some really nice features, like the carry handle, the fact that it's got 2 independent zones inside, refrigerator, freezer, or however you want to set it up. Big freezer, big refrigerator. It also has a flashing green light down here in the where the compressor's at. At night, there's this dull green flashing light. And I call that a collision avoidance light. So you don't run into it. You don't walk into it in the nighttime. It didn't keep me up or anything. It's not that bright, but it does kind of light up the floor in front of it. Just goes blink, 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 blink. I guess that's to keep you from stumbling on it. It has a secret compartment. Let me see if I can get some sun on this. Hold on just a minute. Well, I did manage to get some light on it. Check this out. You squeeze these 2 handles together and you pull it out, and it has a secret compartment. It's actually not a secret compartment. You can use it as that. In the old days, I guess when they first came out of this, it had a removable lithium battery that you could plug in right here. It's got this little cover plate that covers that up. But you can store power cord in here or something like that. I think they discontinued the lithium battery idea because so many people, these power stations are dominating the market because they're so good. So people don't want just a lithium battery inside their refrigerator so much. They'd rather get something more useful like this. Also, you can plug solar directly into here without running through a power station. This will take solar right there. Solar panel to refrigerator. Sound-wise, it's running right now. It's doing about 53 decibels. That's right in line with other refrigerators that I've tested. They're all right about in there. I find them to be quiet. They don't wake me up at night. And this one's just right in there with the rest. Another nice feature it has is that the lid is reversible. It just pops out and you can pop it in the other way. So instead of opening from this side, it'll open from the other side. You can see it's already got the detent here for your fingers is already there, ready to go. For current pricing, click on the link below this video in the video description. Prices change week to week, month to month. Right now they are offering a discount code to the viewers of this video, so be sure and click on that. Or if you just want to click on the price below just to see how much it costs, click that link. We find this has a lot of nice features on it. It's working well. It's nice to have ice cream and ice. Linda loves to put ice in her water bottle to have chilled water. This is working out really well that way. And if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around.